I'm ready.
Oh, it's recording.
Yeah. Lost you to the game. Now I see
Can
why.
you turn it off and on, Luke?
Yeah, it gives me a pause button.
Okay, word. So, boys, if you need to have tabs open,
Bro, that's crazy. Drake and Kevin Hart pulled up.
put up the Camden, bro. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it in the ghosty, man?
Who would have thunk it, bro?
There's some
Who was I
loud
clowning
dogs.
that day? I think it was Caitlin I was clowning. Or no, it was Mackenzie because she was the bunny. I was like, oh, we got the Playboy bunny. I got that video still. I'm like, oh, the Playboy bunny. We got the Playboy bunny.
And Mr. Barry
And then,
said, you just like that every day. And I was like,
and then she's like, stop it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, stop.
Those are some loud dogs, bro.
Bro, I know. that it's pick your poison. I'm gonna just have myself muted until I need to talk. They're geeking. I think my mom just got home or something. They're spazzing. Yo, look, peep my hair though.
All right.
Bro, she's geeking. Oh, dude, no wonder. I'm so slow. I was deleting my backgrounds. I'm so dumb for that.
Got him, dude.
For
All right.
real.
How are we kicking this sucker off?
Luke, if you want to start it off, you can, or if we want to start it off, I'm a pin. Or who are you, host, Luke?
Yeah.
Okay. Word. Is Cam?
Yeah, where's Cam? He needs to
Wait,
come
he's
in here.
typing? Oh, that was you.
What about Sellers?
He
Any
hasn't
word on
even read
Who?
our messages in a while, bro.
You said
Sellers.
Sellers.
Who are you talking
that
about?
Oh, Devin. Okay. I got a friend named Sellers, so that's why I was like, what?
I don't believe that.
Don't believe what?
Yep.
Okay.
He said he's coming, so just give him a second.
Yeah, his internet, can't be helped.
oh, that's right.
Where he lives.
That internet, bro.
Yeah.
He borrows his neighbors.
Really?
Remember his TV? He almost gave me a seizure.
Can you guys give me 2 minutes? Just 2 minutes. I'll be back.
Yes.
Peep the clout.
2 minutes. He said it only take 2
You
minutes.
need to change that T to a P.
Bro, I can't see
10
my
minutes. You told me it would take 10 minutes to break my heart. Oh, no.
Oh,
DeAndre, hear this.
didn't. Young Cougars.
Bro, I was trying to get me right there, but I can't get it because it's at the top.
It's not gonna work, bro.
See, Mike,
I wish they would let
right.
you. I wish they would let you shift your backgrounds.
All right, hold up. I'll be right back, too.
All right. If that
All right,
case,
well-
I'll be right back too.
In that case, I'll be right back, too.
All right, I'll be right back too. Peace.
She told me it would take 10 minutes to break my heart.
Hi, I'm Becca.
We back.
Back.
Check my Twitch out, Luke. Oh, where's Cam at?
Up next in 18 seconds.
Which is good, isn't it? It's like this is the best burger I think I've had.
This is just a test.
Yeah.
Oh, DeAndre, that's kind of clean, though.
So is Cam joining? What's the dealio?
He said he's on his way.
Okay, so we'll wait for him. Luke, we can start off with your talking point, and I think we'll just let the conversation go natural, and then if it starts to die down, then I'll switch it to what I have to say. Sound Gucci?
Yeah, dude.
I don't think so.
And hey, everybody, remember to have your mic muted, and then just use the space bar if you want to talk.
Bro, why would this?
You're muted. Luke, you might as well
All
just stay unmuted.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm staying unmuted. It's not working, bro. All right. It's Hallpass. It's Luke here.
Welcome. My name's Isaiah Hamilton. I'm going to be co-hosting this with Luke Mills.
Yep.
Here to my left on the Zoom screen. But basically, this is a project that we had come to mind over the past few weeks while we're stuck in quarantine. So we decided, hey, why not, throw some caution to the wind. So I got all my boys here with me today. I'll let them introduce themselves. Daniel, if you want to get started.
What's up? I'm Daniel Nasty Naj. I'm your boy here, one of Luke's best friends.
Not true.
And I'll be running the tech stuff mainly.
Not associated with this man. Truly.
My boy Dre Fresh.
All right, it's Dre Fresh here. I'm DeAndre Sawyer. I'm here. I'm the group's last box. You feel me? I'm the hype man. So
That's also not true.
You're fine.
Jared.
My name Jared. That's pretty much it. Me and Tripod over here really go at it. That's the main humor. Yeah, ain't it?
What?
They don't even know who that is yet.
They don't know how it is.
They'll
Cam?
find out.
Y'all know who it is. Tripod James coming at you clean, fresh.
All right, so yeah, that's pretty much the crew.
Okay.
That's pretty much the crew we're gonna walk with
Already starting it.
for tonight. We'll try to give you a little bit of a rundown to explain some things, but this is gonna be pretty much freelance, and we want to emphasize that this is just real friends with real opinions. So, we can get into it. Luke, if you want to kind of explain the rules.
Yeah. So basically, where we want to go with this, I mean, we don't have anything set in stone or anything. We're just going to see how it evolves. But the original concept we have behind it is we just get a bunch of clowns together, and one of a clown per week brings a topic, and we talk about it. Whether it be, it'll be anything and everything. We just see where the conversation leads us. This episode, since it's the first one, it's gonna be a little bit different. So we're just gonna have a couple things to talk about. It's basically a get to know us episode, and then from here, we're gonna get one or two topics per week. One of you guys are gonna bring it to like me and Hammy, and we'll sit here and we'll talk about it. It's pretty straightforward. We're just here to have a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and yeah, that's about the main concept. I don't know if Hammy, if you had anything else to add to it, if I forgot anything.
Yeah, I would just look forward to maybe seeing different guests, different topics. The people below me might jump in and out. So you might see some of them some weeks and then some of them others. We might get new people. I know we have a few people who couldn't make it this week, but maybe they'll tag along for next week. So stay tuned for that. But really, like we said, we're kind of just going to see where conversation takes us because we get into some pretty interesting conversation, the group of us. But so we'll see if that comes out tonight, really. But one thing I would say get used to is kind of just all of our nicknames. There's a lot of nicknames floating.
Oh, yeah. I think
group.
I said Hammy a couple times.
You did say Hammy, yeah. And we got Tripod, we got Dre Fresh, Nasty Naj, so you're going to just have to catch on. We may catch you in, we may not. You're going to have to, we have to keep you on your toes. So, But I think Luke actually has the first topic for
Yeah,
today,
so I
boys.
figured since, this is all new to all of us, I figured I'd bring in the first topic that's all pretty relevant to us. And it's nothing like any research needs to be done on or anything. This is mostly just opinion and how each of us personally feel. So, really and truly, if you were the first one I'm bringing up here is if you were the one making decisions for schools right now, whether that be high school, colleges, so on and so forth, when do you make the decision to let kids back on campus or on school grounds, and at what point do you resume operations as normal? Um, I'll let one of you guys take the floor first, and we'll see what we all think.
I don't think it's ever going to be normal again. That's the thing, right? It's probably going to be, this virus is probably going to be something that we all probably have to live with for the rest of our lives. Because it's almost like the flu. And the flu comes around every year. And this could be pretty much the same thing, but worse. And the only way to really get back to normal, per se, is when that vaccine comes around. But that's still not even set in stone. They have vaccination for the flu every year, but it keeps mutating. So I don't think it's ever going to be normal, per se, after what we just went through.
Right, but at the same time, in the past we've had like SARS outbreaks, stuff like that, which is also just other forms of coronavirus. And I'd argue that things went back to normal pretty quickly. I mean, obviously none of them were on the scale we see now, but like I think a lot of the scale we see now is kind of brought up upon like we really try to do a lot of prevention measures. But I see where you're going with that.
I will say I think that it's kind of disappointing the measures we have taken as a quote unquote powerhouse, like in the world scale, because I actually this past February I took a trip out to Southeast Asia where I visited Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam, and I think that those countries, although their economy was not as stable as ours, they did practice a lot of these like social distancing measures that are in place right now. Without even having a pandemic. So I think this kind of will serve as a wake-up call maybe to some Americans. But as far as to when I would open schools and things like that, I'm really conflict of interest because out of everybody who's in here tonight, I'm the youngest. So I'm actually a grade below everybody. So I'm going to be going into my freshman year of college, but they're all heading into sophomore year. So for me, it's a little bit of different experience because I know I want to get back into it and experience like that first semester on campus, but I don't want things to be rushed. I'm leaning towards rather be safe than sorry. But hey, man, I think the safer route honestly is going to be spring semester, opening up then. Realistically, I think that's more likely. I think it's more safe, more probable, but knowing our current state and our current government, I think we're going to want to get the economy up and running. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got it going in fall.
I was about to say, it's interesting you say spring semester because there are states talking about opening this month. Like, I'm not super familiar with how it's going, I guess, in other countries. For instance, Italy, who kind of had it really bad right before us. But, we have states opening or want to open like this week, next week, like really soon. So it's interesting that you say spring semester. I don't see it going that long, honestly, truly. I never saw it going this long, that being said, but like spring semester just seems so far off, dude. Like summertime doesn't even really feel like it's here yet. So spring semester is just, I don't know. It just doesn't sit with me.
Well, I think one of the important things to look at is I think we're also to blame a little bit because I think we were kind of reluctant to get things up and running to the degree we needed to like control the pandemic. Where like it's interesting almost because you see countries like Italy and China who like were just like hit totally wiped by it, but then now they're recovering supposedly, and things seem to be pretty stable. But it's also a matter of if we can trust those reports because I know that some people think it's fake news, but it's interesting. I'll definitely say it's like I was just talking to my family about it today. We actually took a trip into town, and it's like me sitting at home. I feel like I'm doing my part, and like social distancing. But as soon as I go into town, it's like things carry on as if they were like normal. And like, it makes me like think, well, if everyone else is out, how come I'm sitting at the house? So like, I think that kind of eggs on the mentality of like, let's get everything back up and running, and a little bit like of a rush to do it. But I don't know. I like taking a more cautious approach. So that's why I say spring.
Yeah. It's just hard to compare to other countries too, because, we're all so unique. We've got such a unique makeup, and, to have a country so centered around our economy, it's so hard to sit. I guess it's just like idly by, especially when, we're pretty fortunate to have a lot of, freedoms guaranteed. So I think it makes it really hard on for some people to really grasp the whole, staying at home concept. Not that it's mandated, but that you should do it, not for your sake, but for others who wouldn't do so well if they did catch it. Daniel, DeAndre, what do you guys got to say? When are you opening schools back up?
Okay, well, I have a couple of things here. So we're implementing social distancing measures. Why? We're doing it to slow the spread, right?
Right.
To flatten the curve, as they say. If you flatten the curve, it goes from a peak that's like this to like this.
And it's less burden on hospitals.
But it has the same
stuff.
amount of people that are infected, right?
Right.
So that means the outbreak takes a lot longer. And in order to slow the spread to anywhere manageable for our country, it would have to take over a year, 2 years even. I saw somebody run these simulations. It's just a simulation, so it might not be perfect, but you'd have to slow the spread over years. And that's just not possible.
Right.
I mean, the way we're doing it right now, a lot of people like us, we're doing okay. But there are people that are living paycheck to paycheck, and they've lost their job, and they can't do that for 2 more years. They'll be gone.
They
Right.
said that unemployment rates have been like shooting up. It's like 1/3 of people now have of the middle class have been applying for unemployment. So it's crazy, because I think already in our current economy, people are saying that the middle class is like diminishing, and like there really won't be a middle class. But I think we're really seeing that now, where they're kind of getting stuck in like they're kind of being like the crucifix of being in between, wanting to be able to like live a normal life, and I'd say like I'm fortunate enough to like be fine during all this, and I think most of us are.
Yeah.
But like, if you really think about it, there's a lot of people, like Daniel said, that are like getting hit by this way harder. So like, and one of the things that I saw was interesting, as soon as campuses shut down, right, my first thought was not like, oh, like what about school or like classes or stuff? It was more like for some people, being on campus is like their home, like they don't want to go back home, because you, at least at like campus, you got a bed provided for you, there's meals that are guaranteed for you as long as you're paying that tuition and you're enrolled, like you're good. So like, it's interesting, man.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's just that I see what you're saying about the whole. I guess we kind of agree on all that.
And I agree with these social distancing measures mostly. I think something needs to be thought out, because it's not possible to do this for 2 years or more. And our best hope would be a vaccine, which would be in a year at best. And we don't even know if that would work, because there's no vaccine for SARS, and coronavirus is notoriously hard to,
Right.
pin down in that way. So it's a really complicated problem. I have no idea what to do.
I mean, at the same time, the age-old adage, necessity brings ingenuity. So who knows what could come of this as well.
I'd like to point out my sister photo bombing right here, or video bombing, but shout out. But I think that, no, I think where a lot of us are agreeing on a lot of this, but like one of the things I will say is that one of my like strong opinions is that these measures should have been in place like before all of this, and should be continued to be in place. Like, I think a lot of it is just like general respect. Like, when I visited those countries, a lot of the masks that they were wearing and stuff like that was much rather like just them wanting to not spread their own germs, more so than them like, like not wanting to get infected or like get contracted. So I think a lot of it is just general respect.
See, I think it's so hard to say that we didn't do enough early on, because we didn't know anything about it. And I guess you can make the same, like, I guess that argument kind of derails itself, because you could also argue, since we didn't know anything about it, we should have done more. But, at the same time, to say like we should have started this way sooner, we didn't know any better. We've never really had anything happen like this before. The only times we ever have these, crazy outbreaks. Oh yeah, Daniel?
One thing I want to point out, and kind of Hammy's defense here, is I don't think he means like everybody staying at home. I think he means like people should be wearing a mask if you're sick in public, maybe keeping a little more distance between each other, not shaking everybody's hands.
No, I
think
agree.
some of these measures are good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I didn't mean
100%
like
there.
I didn't mean quarantine. I meant all the other measures, just like, now like fast food places, how they're kind of working on like a no touch, like policy or operations, like things like that. I think should have already been in place. And a lot of it should just be like, I think as a country, we're very like touchy, and like it was only about time. They've been predicting for years. I watched a TED Talk actually a while back about it was Bill Gates like predicting literally this that happened, like word for word, like everything he said is verbatim. So it's crazy because it's like they knew this was coming. So kind of to argue your point, Luke, I think it's almost a fair like criticism of our government to be like, how come y'all didn't see this earlier? Like, how come, we hadn't had better measures in place to like, she's doing this again, but to prevent all this. Cause it's like, this is going to happen. It's just a matter of time. So,
yeah, no, I'm completely with you. It's just so hard to like, when do you draw the line between, that this is like the difference between your yearly flu or like when we had the swine flu, stuff like that, where do you draw the line? Like, how do you know the difference between that and this? How do you know when to slow down, put some brakes on the economy and businesses? And then how do you know when you have to resume as normal, because you don't want to put anybody out of jobs, because at the same time that puts them in danger. If I'm not working, that means I'm not putting food on the table, if all that kind of stuff.
I agree. DeAndre, you've been awfully quiet. You got anything?
I saw him turn on his mic.
I got you. So I can kind of piggyback on multiple perspectives. So on the prevention side, like early prevention, like you were saying, I think it was more of a denial and this is unfathomable, it's not going to happen to us thing. Because personally, since I'm an orientation leader this summer and now it's remote, they didn't have any plans for this kind of thing. Yeah. They didn't have
a little self-plug right there.
Right.
Be oriented by DeAndre.
I got you. Anyway, they had a handbook for like over 300 emergencies, and a pandemic was not in the emergency book at all. So everything they're doing is like by ear. So I just don't think any of our institutions were like prepared and able to handle this. And personally, for like reopening, we like our chancellor said that we weren't gonna reopen until like mid-fall, or it would be remote all of fall. But now they're already saying we're going back in fall. So
yeah, I think they're gonna get it in like an inch and then expect a mile. Like I think what's honestly more scary is the possibility of that second wave hitting. And they think it's going to align with the fall semester, because like we're doing all this work right now to flatten this curve, right? And then
we're just opening everything back up.
Everything's going to open back up, and it's like people are just going to forget the last 4 months we just threw down the drain. Well, maybe not threw down the drain. Maybe this podcast will be like blown up by then. I don't know, but like, but like, no, seriously, it's like everyone's kind of just like sitting and trying their best to like not do anything or like stay like active in the house, or like entertained, but. My opinion is that like I think we should be doing this again, like to be safer rather than sorry. So we're not like regretting this when the mortality rate like shoots through the roof on a second curve potentially.
Yeah. DeAndre, I can definitely see what you were talking about like institutions not being ready at all. Like there were no plans in place for this. At least not that I saw. Like to me, everything feels like it's by ear as well. Nobody knows, like, I don't know. It's just weird. Nobody had any plans in place. It took a week for them to figure out, oh, how are we going to even do classes online? You know, we didn't even have a program. We didn't have any of that stuff. So like, to me, it's kind of an absurdity to be you call yourself an institution, and then what happens if you have to work from home? Oh, wait, we don't know. That's pretty pathetic. I mean, you got.
I think what's even more pathetic is people not knowing their job security during a pandemic. You know, It's like we go from having these outrageous, and I'll argue this that outrageous like wage differences between like professional athletes and like essential workers. Like, how come we got people making $600 million to like swing a bat, but then when dudes cutting open your body or like trying to like save you when all this is going on, those people are like working day in and day out. And what are the athletes doing? Just watching them on the couch. I think it kind of puts in perspective again that like we really all are human, and that like no one's untouchable in a sense. Because like I think people really started taking the social distancing measures seriously when celebrities started getting it. And of course, it wasn't when you hear about it. You know, like I heard a rumor in early March that Black people couldn't get coronavirus. I was like, what? like, come on. I was like, come on, man. And then you saw it. Yeah, I was like, what? I was like, bro, what? And then I saw, and then you see Idris Elba get it. And then he's like literally like one of these famous actors. And obviously he's Black. So then he's like, you can get this. Like, it's just, some of it's just like common sense, you know? It's crazy.
I told Daniel, we had this discussion. I wasn't like necessarily glad that it happened, but the effect that it had on America and humans as a whole, it like humbled us, because I noticed in the early stages, it really taught, everyone always talked about how well we're handling it or how quick it'll be gone. But in reality, we had no control over this. It's still evolving and mutating. And like, humans just don't have the grasp on it like we thought we would.
Yeah, I just don't think we understand it. I mean, I think we have a knack for trying to act like we understand things that we really have no idea we understand. It's just how we are.
Yeah,
Personally, if I was in charge of opening a school as of right now, I see no reason to not start in the fall.
But like, would you
you
not be concerned about bringing thousands of people who were from very different places across the country, even across the world, because you have a lot of foreign exchange students? And
no, yeah, I know, I completely agree. But like at the same time, you can't cancel something so far off at that point. Obviously,
I agree, but I don't think no one has though. Like, I think
Well,
everyone's
that's what
kind
I'm
of just
saying.
playing it by ear.
Right now, what I would say is no more for this semester, we're done, but fall semester's on until further notice, because to me it's ridiculous to cancel something so far in advance, because I mean, you can't uncancel a semester, but you can wait to cancel a semester. You know, you should
No, that's facts.
you should prepare for the worst and hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah, what I was thinking is, yeah, like you were saying, you can't uncancel something. And this whole situation is moving so fast at this point, because we're like at the top currently, that things are changing every day. You have to play it by ear, really. And I think one thing that might actually happen before we go back to school would be an effective treatment. Obviously not a vaccine, but like a medicine you take that makes the symptoms way better. And I think we might actually, I mean, this is just complete speculation, but I think if we get a good medicine and then we get companies pumping this medicine out, we might just try and write it out.
Yeah, that way it would make it at least manageable for people.
Well,
I mean, it was probably still hit the elderly really hard though, and younger people with.
Good thing they're not going back to school, right?
hey,
yeah.
No,
But
I've seen a
people
lot of
going home
medicine.
is the thing, is you send all your like children off to college, but people go back home,
right?
Like weekends, once a month, and they bring it back.
Well, my whole thing is that it's like so hard to say like we are all doing this social distancing and like social self-isolation perfect. Like, you know how hard, like really think about it, like, you know how hard it is to not come in contact with anything or like stay at home, like it's harder than a lot of us I think realized, and at least it was for me, because I like at first it was just like, okay, cool, I'll chill at the house, I was like, that's not that bad, that's fine, I'll just chill, binge watch some shows, it'll be fine. But then it was like
Months
I started
later.
sitting and it was like, oh, you wanted to do something, and a lot of it I think it's just like emotional rather than like physical tolls, of course. But I think like really it's the small things that you miss, just about being around people, like actually like having those interactions that I think is really hard. But the point I was making is like I've seen people wear like gloves and then just like touch everything around the store and then like be tapping all up on their phone and everything, and then like take the gloves off and then go tap on their phone again. It's like you did nothing by like you accomplished nothing. You just hurt yourself. I've seen people in Walmart, and like I'm putting Walmart on blast really, but like people around our area are just suspicious when it comes to some things. But they were wearing, right, it was this family of 4. Both the parents had on masks, but then their kids didn't. I was like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Oh,
It
dude,
was like,
only adults can get it, bro.
Yeah, only adults, bro, apparently.
Do y'all have any more to say about that? When you'd send people back?
I mean, it
Tripod.
don't matter either way. I mean, like, people are kind of like ignorant. Like people that are younger, they don't really care about like anyone older at all. So,
But yeah, it
they
doesn't affect them as much as older
like
people
older
with
person.
immune deficiencies. Yeah.
Yeah. So like a person who like doesn't live like anyone older or like by themselves, they won't care if they get it or not. But to like someone who has like a big family, of course, they would care like more than anyone else. So it's crazy how people don't take in consideration for like other people and their family members at all. Like I know for like it's like DeAndre's family is really big, so if like someone came to contact with him, it would like mess his like whole family up because of how like much older his family is and everything about that.
Yeah.
DeAndre, he just called your family old. You're just gonna sit
Yeah,
there
bro.
and
He
take
just
that.
called you old. You can take
I
that
mean,
trash.
I mean, like-
look, if you think about it, my brother is 16 years older than me, so that already puts him like the
Yeah.
generations really are above me. So
Yeah.
you're technically right.
Hey, I think we should take the quick time to run down where we all are going to like school, so people have a little bit of background information behind everything. I'll let Luke kick that off if he wants to.
Dude, bro, this whole Mike Newton thing not working for me, dude. It just does not work. I go to the United States Coast Guard Academy in New London, Connecticut. So, whoever wants to go next.
So I go to University of Rochester up in Rochester, New York.
Rochester. That's in Rochester, you said.
I think
Yeah,
so.
that's
I think
from
so.
Rochester, right?
Yeah, okay. All right.
Just making sure. I go to Duke, or I'm about to be going to Duke, hopefully, if all this clears. But that's where I'm enrolled in currently. Yeah.
I believe Tripod should go next. Where you going?
I go to COA, College of Albemarle, just chilling. He laughing his ass off, bro.
Hey, we're not clowning nobody. It's just funny because we all went to the same high school, so like we're allowed to do that.
Well, I go to App State, so if anyone's going there, hit me up. I live right across from
Come
home.
on, bro. Come on, man.
That's the worst
Don't
self-promotion
hit
I've
him up.
ever
That was
seen.
the worst self-promotion.
Do not
You gotta
talk
do
to
it
this
like
guy.
DeAndre if you're gonna do it.
Hey, look, hold up, I got you.
Yeah,
First
DeAndre
of all,
sneakily snuck his in there. Yeah, get oriented by
I'm
me.
a defend Cameron real quick because
Oh.
Cameron transferring. Cameron got transferred to NC State. All right, got that out of the way.
Really?
I go to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
Ah.
Oh, nice.
I'm playing.
Yeah, nice.
I'm playing. I don't want no smoke, but that's rivalry up in this house.
Yeah, so now we got that little bit of background. I guess that's a good point, Isaiah. I think I talked about like places, but never really brought up where.
So yeah, we're North Carolina boys, you know, born and
Yeah.
raised. Actually, are we? Wait, has everybody like always been from?
Nah, I was born in
North Carolina?
Hawaii.
Daniel,
Yeah,
I
Daniel.
was
I wasn't
born in
here.
Virginia,
I wasn't.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was.
born in
I was a
Jersey.
Virginia baby, actually.
Hey, me too. Virginia baby.
but I was we were pretty much raised in North Carolina. So.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I've been.
raised
We've all
in
been here
Virginia.
for a minute.
Yeah.
I think we might also want to like describe how we like know each other a little bit, or like how we are like here right now as a group. I'll start. Like I said, I'm the youngest, so I transferred schools when I came into middle school, and they're a year above me. So like our middle school was 7th and 8th grade, so we didn't really click that much until I actually got to high school. And then one of our friends who's actually not here, but he's supposed to be, Devin, kind of brought me into the group a little bit.
Hey, King
alongside
Biomaster.
DeAndre.
King
Yeah,
Biomaster.
shout out King Biomaster. But DeAndre, along with like Devin, brought me into the group. So like since then, I kind of just been the youngest in the group. But
Hey, but me and
I
Hammy
left
been
to go
playing
to
football
residential
together
school,
for a
so
long time.
long time, bro.
Big
I used to
facts.
whoop him.
I've been
Whoop him, bro.
Wow. Take it back. No. That's not how I remember.
D1
it.
athlete.
Well, here, I'll go next. Let's see here. I've known this man, DeAndre, since first grade? God, that bus ride. And this man, tripod.
Best bus ride ever.
And screw up some Mario Kart games. Due to
Bro.
that,
Always first one off, bro. And then everyone
always
mad.
first one, but
Everyone mad.
damn,
Everyone disconnect. Can never finish a Mario
those
Kart
were
game.
some times.
Get like second lap. It was crazy. It was a good time.
Well, I think all of us were in first grade together,
I
except
mean-
for Hammy.
Yeah, me, DeAndre, Jarrett, and
Luke
Cam.
came later.
Yeah, I got to old North Carolina in 5th grade, and then
All right, that's not too bad.
tossed in
So four of
the
us were
tossed in the
together
mix
since first.
shortly thereafter.
Hammy was the last one to fully join.
Sir.
The youngest and the last.
The
Wow,
best, bro.
Hammy.
I put them
Did
together.
we ever haze him correctly?
Here, I'll kick him.
Oh,
I think Miss Glass did it for us.
oh, you did. Hey, a little
Yeah.
story time.
Oh God.
So we had this chemistry teacher. I think Cam wasn't there. I'm not gonna go into his story, but he wasn't there.
No!
He wasn't there. Let's just say he wasn't there. And then Jarrett wasn't there. And Luke wasn't there, and Daniel. So it really was just DeAndre and I. I should have just said that.
Luke was there, bro.
Oh!
Luke was definitely there.
Even though you're boy.
Hey, about that,
Oh, he piecing out. You done messed up.
I lied.
Is there-
It's so
is there
dark
gonna
in
be
It was
a-
Dylan that wasn't there, right? Y'all don't know Dylan, but it was one of our friends, Dylan. But so it was Luke, DeAndre, and I in this chemistry class, right? My sophomore year, their junior year. We're sitting there. We got this teacher, bro, and go about it. I'm the only sophomore in the class. Keep in mind, only sophomore, and like I'm doing pretty good actually. I got I'm holding my own, right? Like I'm balling, trying to be a young intellectual, but she would always try to pinpoint me out, bro. Like for no reason. It was just so aggravating.
Don't
bro.
let this kid
Like,
fool you. Worst kid in the class. Guaranteed.
No, that is a lie, bro. That's a lie too, because we would come back from lunch and I would go to use the bathroom or something before we came back. This is completely off topic, bro. Completely off topic though, but I need to get this off my chest. But we would come back, and then she'd be like, and there'd be people with me too. Like there'd be people who do the things that I did, like with me. But then she would only call out me. It made no sense, bro. Like one day we went to go pick up like our sports awards because we missed the ceremony. Come back and she's like, Isaiah, did I give you permission to go get these sports awards? And I'm like, DeAndre was with me. I was like, there's all these people around me and you just call out me. I was like, there's something not adding up about this, you know? Like I was like, it's either a race thing or it's like It's because I'm a sophomore, bro. I don't know. But then I was like, bro, come on, DeAndre. Your family's too like connected for them to be racist against you, bro. Like, come on now. You got the bloodline. But she came for me, bro. She came for me. Okay, that was off topic, but yeah, nah. I didn't like her.
Hey, she liked me though.
You like all of us, Sammy, not you, bro.
She really did not like him. I don't know why. She liked all of us, like the rest of us.
I was a good student. That's why. Hammy was always causing mischief.
It would be understandable. I would own up to it if it was like me who did wrong. But it was not, bro. Like, I didn't do anything.
One thing I've learned is she didn't really like younger students. Except for me, but I don't know why.
Devastatingly handsome.
Flex alert.
Hey. All right, I'm going to talk about how I met DeAndre.
Oh.
Well, you could say our friendship started in first grade, but I was actually the OBGYN that delivered him at his birth. But anyway, 6.5 years later or so, 6 years, 2 months-ish, we have first grade together. And I'm also in first grade with, I think, Jared and Cameron, same class, Miss Dupree. I don't know if we were all the same class, but I think so. Anyway.
Name drop alert.
Anyway, DeAndre is a nerd. And for some reason, I was too at the time. Not anymore, though.
Yeah,
but anyway,
not anymore.
That's how we met. We talked about dinosaurs all day. And this was an ongoing thing for like 3 years, 4 years. We talk about dinosaurs every day. And then somehow we just stopped talking about dinosaurs. And now we're friends.
Doesn't make sense. What an abrupt ending, dude. You made it sound way more interesting than it was going to be.
No. Let me tell him the real story. You know what story I'm about to tell, bro. All right, so in first grade, we both got IQ tested to see if we were going to like the advanced students group, right? AIG. So we had AIG together the first part, right? And we were the only two boys in there originally, and then Kevin came, and then Luke came. So they split us up the second part, right? So I'm in class, and the teacher comes, Miss Griffin comes and gets me out of class. I'm like, yes. And she's like, come with me. And I walk in, and this man Daniel's crying because I wasn't in there with him.
Uh-oh.
And he didn't want to be the only dude in there. So it ended up, she switched me in there, and it was clean from that point on.
You got a softie, though, and then
wow.
I was crying in front of like 10 other girls or something like that. Cried for like 10, 15 minutes till she got DeAndre, and it worked.
Was this a year or two ago?
No.
How long ago?
Oh, no, that was a different time.
Oh, okay.
Can I take the time to point out real quick that if like I'm at this angle I'm at right now, it looks like I straight just got a pedo stash.
You do.
Unless I lean back a little bit.
Also like real life.
I was just looking forward real quick, and I was like, hold on a second. I look like I got like stash going, but it's connecting. So y'all, I can't hate.
A work in progress. I just got rid of mine.
But yeah, so we did a little bit of introductions. So people got a little bit more of a background idea on each of us, hopefully. But Luke, I don't know if you had a specific talking point you wanted to get into, or I can go.
Nah, dude, it's all you. I gave my I asked my question.
Okay, yeah. So mine's similarly related. But the topic I really wanted to get onto is like unintended consequences of getting older.
Can we run by that word again? Unintended?
Unintended consequences of becoming older. Because I know, like, for me,
where are you going to school again?
Say it into the microphone. I gotta make a phone call.
I'm going to Duke.
You were going to Duke.
But no, like, in all seriousness, I think sometimes there's a lot of unintended things that you realize, at least, or like consequences that you kind of just come across as we like get older. And I know for me, again, like always being the youngest of the group, I kind of like, in comparison to everybody else, I was like, oh, it's fine. I'm younger. But like when y'all graduated and ended up going to like a different school, but it served kind of as like me being like older for a change in a way. So like for me, there's a lot of different things that I didn't realize that was like happening just because like I was getting old. And especially when I was 18, I was like, yo, like even though like hey, everybody don't do drugs, but like when I hit 18, I was like, yo, I can finally like get nicotine like legally, like, or like buy a lottery ticket. That's cool. But like as soon like 2 months after I turned 18, bro, they were just like, you can't buy nicotine anymore. It's 21. So I was just like, okay, bro. So like I had my friends for like the 2 months, bro. I was eligible, and everybody like I look like I'm older anyway, so I kind of pulled it off regardless. They didn't even card me, but like the times I actually did go, like my friends were just like, yo, Isaiah, like get this for me, or like, can you buy this for me? And I was like, yeah, bro, trying to just be like, yeah, I can do this legally, a little bit of a flex. And then they were just like, psych, you can't do that no more. But I don't know if you had anything like in mind, anybody, but keep brainstorming. Daniel?
Were you trying to say something? What was that about?
I was just thinking, if I can make my dad mad, I can get kicked out now. And the law can't force me back in there.
That's fair. No, that's very true. No, like, that's some real stuff, bro. Like, living situations, like, you put it into perspective when you start getting older, and especially now that we're back in quarantine. You can't just be like, oh, bro, like, I can't wait. Like before, right? It was like, because I lived on a residential high school campus. So, like, I'd be like, okay, bro, I'd come home for like 2 or 3 days and then go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd get my little bit of fix of hometown and then just go back home or go back to my school. It'd be fine. But like, now that that's not here, like, you kind of gotta watch what you say. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like these people, this is your life, or these are your lifelines. So it's like, I feel you on that one, Daniel.
I don't know. I feel like personally, I had to do a lot of growing up really quickly because high school. I graduated high school. 3 weeks later, boom, off to the academy, and like your introduction's like a boot camp-esque summer, So like, I knew what I was getting myself into. Like, I've known it for a long time, but there was such a huge disparity in knowing what was coming versus like actually experiencing it. So like, all of a sudden, I didn't even have a phone. I couldn't call somebody. I couldn't text somebody. I was on my own in a state I had not spent that much time in before. I didn't know anybody. Not that was immediately there. That was accessible to me. So literally, it was like a brand new starting over, and you just have to mature really quickly. And you see that all these relationships that you build up, like especially like I built up in my hometown, like I guess they all set the precedent for like who I was looking for, like what I look for in friends now, because we're here, we're all graduated, we've been graduated for a while, and yet here we are still kicking it, like these are the friends, like a lot of you guys have set the precedent for who I look for in friends now. Clapping emoji.
Yeah, that's not easy to come by.
Respect, bro. It got deep real quick on the podcast.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring. I didn't mean to bring any emotions into it, bro. I was just that's literally how it feels for me.
No, that's actually facts though, because like I remember, my mom made a comment because I told her about this, right, that we were making this, and one of the things she said was like, "Who are you making it with?" And I was like, "People from Camden," and she was like really surprised, like not in a bad way, I guess, but like she was really surprised for me to say that it was like people from like around where like we went, like us, rather than people like from my new school. So like, but I will say one thing that's really specific and unattended, at least, is I don't know if anybody has ever felt this, but for me, it's really, it's almost disappointing, I think. But when you realize that somebody who's like a crazy athlete or like super famous or super rich is the same age as you, that hits me hard, because like you got people now who are like 14 doing like 360 tomahawks and like stuff in game for basketball games and stuff. And it's like when I was 14, bro, like come on, man, like I wasn't
Hitting
even
the
the same.
3-pointers were hard.
I wasn't even in the same league. Like not even, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not even fathomable for me. So it's like crazy. Or like you see now, like for example, I'll shout out Charlie D'Amelio and like Dixie D'Amelio from TikTok, bro. Like they're younger than all of us in this, but their networks are all 6 of ours combined, and that's just for each one of them, bro. Like it's crazy. Like I think that's one of the things that I was just like, dang, dude. Like I think now we're at the ages where like we have to start playing our cards right, you know? Because like I think like what Luke was hinting at was that there's more risk and more reward almost like versus the choices we make and the people we like associate ourselves with, much more than it was in elementary school. Because it was like back in like first grade, you knew you had like a whole bunch of years to just like ride it out, you know, and sit with your decisions. But like now it's like you see those consequences in like 48 hours if you make the wrong decision, you know? It's like it's crazy.
I mean, I'm gonna hop off of what you said, bro, because I feel like I got lucky in a way. You already know this because I talked to you about it. Daniel, you know this because I talked to you about it. I feel lucky because growing up, like, I wasn't always the best at stuff. I always, like, looked up to all of you in a way. So, like, Hemi, even you, because when we were in pre-cal, I finished with that B, and you still got it above me. You got in Duke, and I knew I couldn't even.
Y'all got above a B?
I didn't anyway. But, like, I always looked up to people. So, like, JR, I always knew that I wasn't that good in athletics. And then I had all these other cousins that like got in Harvard and stuff. So I was like I'm not really all that. So I really felt all right. I really felt look at Jared though. I really
Hey, flex
felt
alert.
humbled.
Cam's got a flex alert.
That's
Flex?
facts. Anyway, I felt really humbled because I got people like you around me and I got family around me that really like told me I'm not that, and everything I do, I just gotta do it for myself. So even though I like keep watch on y'all and I got the old person hairline,
Yikes,
you
dude.
know,
that's a touchy
I'm the-
subject for
I'm the
you.
grandfather of the group.
Exposed.
Since I'm the grandfather, I just make sure y'all keep pushing because it don't really matter what I do. I'm just trying to make sure that everybody else just keeps going.
Always appreciate
DeAndre
that.
always got the
there.
wise words, man. Shout out to those are blessings, preachings you get from the man himself. But no, like I kind of relate to that though, because like for me, one thing I've noticed throughout my life is that like I've always connected to people who are older than me, like always, like much more than I've ever been able to with younger generations or like people who are younger than me. It's just something I can't explain. Like I think that like maturity is something that I find as like an attractive quality, not in like a romantic way. But,
Hey,
like,
Hammy,
I,
hit me
like,
up, dude. Hit me up.
You already know. No, but like I like surrounding myself with people who like I know are mature and like I know aren't dependent upon me. Like I guess that's almost a bad thing to say, but like I know that I'm never gonna have to worry about like Luke, you know, like or like I'm never gonna have to worry about DeAndre because like I know they're gonna be like squared away. So like for me, like everyone's too, but I'm just using them as an example, Daniel.
No,
But, like,
he left Daniel out
yeah,
of
no,
this equation on
Daniel's gonna be in
purpose.
prison, bro. Straight up.
Bro.
But no, I just I just feel like almost that it's like I've surrounded like I think if you kind of manifest the person you want to become if you surround yourself by those people almost. I'm not trying to get all like preacher on it too, but like that's my little bit of preaching for the day.
That is true. I am becoming a better person because DeAndre is a good guidance, you could say.
Bro, that's because you cheated off him in high school.
Boy,
That's the only reason you
That is
passed.
true.
Boy,
That is true. I
Jared,
cheated DeAndre third grade to up,
Without
bro.
him, cool, you'd be so far behind.
look, hold on. For the
Are you
people
talking?
listening to the podcast,
He even-
before
he
y'all
even,
two
like,
get
fucking
into it
talk.
again, bruh. Let me
We ain't
tell
going-
the audience real quick. Before me and Jared, bruh, Cameron would have just been wild for
That
no
is true,
reason.
bro. That is true. That is true. Jared also
Yo.
cannot. Jared has horrible grammar, bro. Jared cannot.
Oh,
Like,
completely.
Jared,
Yo,
spell
huh?
pterodactyl.
Bro, come on now. I can't even spell pterodactyl.
You're gonna expose Jared on video like that, man.
Listen. Don't hate on him because I can't even spell pterodactyl, bro.
I mean, I don't even know one can, but like
one-page response for me.
I know it starts with
my World Lit class. I'll spell it.
P-E-T-E-I.
Oh,
Did he say PE?
I said P-E-T.
Yeah,
Hey, DeAndre, you should have that video on Snapchat.
I do. I have every one of your
spelling
videos.
in the cafeteria.
I
That's
don't think it'd
probably
be
my
as
best
bad as me
interpretation
saying
of
like
it.
geography and geology. That was pretty fail, bro.
So I think our last talking point for the day is gonna be like where we see ourselves and it's a cliche question, I know, but like where do you see yourself in like 5 to 10 years? And
President.
kind of including like
On this
kinda
podcast,
like,
baby.
kind of including like what you want to like study or like do, and then like how like you really go about like your plan basically, you know. Yeah.
All right, who's going first? Not me.
I mean, I'll go. I mean,
Alright.
5 to 10 years.
this
I don't
should
know.
be good.
Bro, I knew you're not talking. But 5 to 10 years, I don't know. It just depends what I want to major in. Like, I really like science and history, but I mean, there ain't much to do with history, really. I mean, but for science
You do that history
wise, hell no. It's become like Black Mr. Blood. I don't know about that one. but for science wise, I don't know. I'm
Bro,
trying to
you
figure
got
out.
that stomach going? That's a little bit more.
Jared gets skinny one time and start talking this major shit, bro. He's like, I'm finally slim. I can joke other niggas now. Yeah.
That's facts. No, listen. Hey, Jared thinned out and changed his whole personality, bro. Like,
I swear,
homie, stop
I
responding in
changed
group
everything, bro.
chats. It's crazy.
It's only getting
I was like,
better.
who is this, bro? That's facts. But you can keep going, Cam.
yeah. But like science wise, I don't know what I'm really major in. Like, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to like really do wise. But I mean, it's only like up from here because like I did hit my lowest point, so like it's only really up from the now. So I mean, if I could bounce back from that, I mean, I really could like still go higher than before.
And no, there were some smirks about that, but like honestly, that's some like real shit though. Like I feel like if you reach your lows, everything else in comparison is like slight work.
For sure.
If
I
you've
laugh
been
about
through
it, but
the
it's
ringer,
true.
If you've been through the ringer, you can like look back in hindsight or like retrospect and really be like, what I'm doing now is nothing compared to that. Like for real. Like that's basically the summary of junior year for if anybody's like in high school watching that. You're put through the dog, like you're straight. Like, bro, that's the doghouse this junior year. You're just going at it nonstop.
That was like the worst year.
Yeah, hey,
high school.
you, Luke.
It's
What?
rough.
For the same reason.
Okay, Underwood.
Yeah, junior year was rough for all of us.
All right, well, looks like I'll go next. 5 to 10 years. Hopefully, I'll start getting to meet some contacts for my CPA job. That'll be nice. That'll probably be the start of that in the next 5 to 10 years. Hopefully. I do got DeAndre over there. I know he's always getting contacts.
I think, at least for me, I know that like my interests are kind of like in different categories. I really like. I don't know what my major or minor is going to be yet. I'm kind of like sort of undecided, but I know the general like trajectory of what I want to go towards. I'm really interested in like bio and like neurological stuff, but then I also like government because I did a lot of like student government stuff and helped out a lot with that. But it's just really interesting for me. But I think one of my biggest interests, honestly, or like things I want to work towards. And I know DeAndre is going to hit me with some real philosophical stuff, so I'm trying to match that ahead of time. But my biggest thing really is I want to like help towards bringing more like accessible healthcare to like rural regions, because I know we can all kind of attest to this. Like our health, like just access around this area is not the best, and like they put forth like a lot of effort. Don't get me wrong. But I think the connections aren't there for like interested students. And I also don't think like the structures are put in place for people to really excel in those fields. So that's kind of like what I'm looking forward to probably doing. I like, if we're going to get into like real careers or anything, I want to be a surgeon, but check back with me in like 10 years. Maybe I'll, maybe I'll be there. Maybe I will. We'll see. But yeah, a lot of that's what kind of what my focus is in. But you might be asking like, where's the government or where's the political science play a role in that? And to you, I say, I'll figure that out. I think a lot of what
double major, baby.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I think a lot of what it really is going towards right now, at least like theoretically, is just like healthcare policy, you know, and like helping change the language or like legislation surrounding that to like also bring about more accessible healthcare. But we'll see. I'm gonna pass this off to Luke, I think.
Oh man, Pat
Or DeAndre. Not
dude,
DeAndre.
are we just skipping? Are we just skipping?
I lied. I'm gonna go to DeAndre.
All right, here we go.
Uh-oh.
So, hear me. I can go off of what you said again, because that was like my weakness in high school. I really had to get through that, because I had a lot of different things that I was interested in, and a lot of different things that I was like capable of doing, but I really didn't have any passion in it. So, like Daniel said, I like grew up loving science and stuff, but Jared knows my math was not the best. Like, I can understand.
I know your math was not the best, bro.
That's facts too. But like, when I got that ACT score back and it said STEM prepared no, I was like, okay, I got to change something. So I started looking like into why I liked everything I did. And I figured out that the one similar thing in them all was like the art of stories. So like science is just the story of the universe. And then all my talents and stuff, it's more like interrelated with people. So what can I do for that? So 5 to 10 years, I'm majoring in communications because I want to go into like film and stuff. Because that, I thought about it. Imagine if we had never started going to those Marvel movies as groups. Think about how much bonding we all did and how much storytelling we all got just from going to the movies. And I was like, that's a
you don't have to give some backstory for the viewers for that one.
All right, I got you.
I'm pretty sure that's for another time because those car rides, those were.
I can give them a summary though.
You give them a summary, yeah.
Yeah, the first time we ever went, we have a place up in Edinburgh. I'm gonna shout it out, Cinema Cafe. That's our place. First movie we went to was Doctor Strange, and it was just for. Yep, Daniel got it. And it was just for fun because we all have like similar interests and stuff like that. So it was just for fun. But then we really started like getting other people into it. Other people saw stories and they're like, hey, can we go? And I was like, yeah. It's like, and we just started bringing other people in. And it kind of matched what we were doing in real life because our network was just expanding and our friendships and bonds kept expanding. And it was really ironic because we never realized that the Marvel movies had started so early in our lives. And then the last one, Endgame, it basically like, it was the end of our minor academic journey together here.
That was like, that had levels to it, bro, for
it
real.
Was love, and that like, it was the most people we had in the theater.
Like, it was the most people we had gathered from the group.
Yes.
It was crazy because that was the last one. Like I said, I moved like to a different school, like 3 hours away. They were all going off to different colleges. Luke was going to the academy. So like for us, bro, that was like really like the pinnacle of our like high school like experience, at least for like our group. It was crazy though because we had everybody there. And like to this day, like I'll say one of the first things I really want to do when all this clears is hop back in the movie theater, like especially with like the boys. But like it's crazy because it's like you spend some facts, bro. I don't want to keep you like throw you off your track, but not like that. No, that's facts, bro.
Yes. So like that magic, that's what I want for people. I want to build up other people. I want to build their bonds. So that's one easy way because I was thinking about that English major for a little bit, but I was like, I don't need an English degree to write. So like, and then communications, I could do public
fake news.
Exactly. I could do public speaking. I can help build up the businesses for people that I want to. And it's just 5 to 10 years. I'm looking at having, Daniel, I see you. I'm looking at having that strong network because, I hate power, but I love influence. I just want to help everybody. So that's why I see myself 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, DeAndre probably one of the best persons here. He's good at what he does. He's like an old wizard, and he's our sage
that's
advisor.
facts. Bro,
Like for real.
For years, we've been calling him the glue because, like, if DeAndre was not a part of the group, none of us would mesh in the way we do. It's like really crazy. Like we kind of like bounce things off like DeAndre just so we could connect with other people. It's really weird, but it's how it goes. Like even this, it was funny, a little backstory about this podcast, especially. Luke and I both approached DeAndre, right? And we didn't talk about it, Luke and I, at all. We were both like, dude, I want to start a quarantine podcast because we have nothing better to do, and we like want to do it. And DeAndre texted me, right? Because I did it first, and then Luke followed it, hitting DeAndre up. And then DeAndre,
I like how Hammy emphasizes, yeah, I did it first.
I did it first. No, but he texts me and then is like, Isaiah, you know that Luke also wants to start a podcast. And there's also people wanting to start these like YouTube channels. So like you got some competition going. And I was like, hold on, bro. Like, let's not call it competition. Like Luke and I are homies, like let's see if something will happen. So then I hit up Luke and then he's like, dude, why not? Let's get it going. So now we're here on a Saturday night. So,
To emphasize the impact DeAndre has here, Hammy and Luke also hit me up beforehand, and I did not connect them. It was DeAndre that did so. They had both messaged me, and I was like, all right, whatever. We're going to have 2 podcasts.
See, that's the difference. That's the difference right there.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
what
it's
DeAndre
not
does.
DeAndre's a good friend. It's just Daniel's a terrible
Just
one.
I'm a bad person.
Maybe DeAndre is not like all we make him out to be.
Maybe the rest of us are just dirtbags. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just all scumbags.
Yeah.
Hey,
but
listen, I'm not trying to drag his name through the dirt, but we got Devin coming up here soon, so they'll really know the lows compared
King
to the
Biomaster.
Bro, that man is low. He'll dog you for his girl, man.
Yo, he'll snake you for the girls, man.
Hey, we've all been there too.
Hey,
It's
that's
tough
not,
you go with your girl.
we've all simped a little, but not me. Never.
Don't listen to this man.
Never in my life. I've been down for the gang since day one.
Hey, Henry, what was that? What was that picture you were showing us earlier?
It was before the stream started.
Hey, me and my lovely.
Hey, that was before
mother.
that was before
mother.
this started, but not before I pressed record, buddy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh shoot!
That's all I'm gonna say.
I'll say it on recording. I don't care, bro.
Nah, just kidding. I'm just kidding. I had not pressed record yet. Don't say anything. Don't self-incriminate.
I will self-incriminate. I got played.
Oh,
but
Hey, we all got played by that person.
Yeah, for real. But let me tell you, lessons were learned, and I'm not getting played again ever in my life. So shout out. It's actually a shout out.
Shout out to Ford Movement.
live and learn. Live and learn.
I guess it's time to talk about my plans. I guess I got
skipped
lucky.
Luke, bro. You just skipped Luke.
No. I said the order in chat. You're the only one that didn't read it. Now.
Touche.
I guess I got lucky because I can do math, unlike some other people, DeAndre. But anyway, so I'm double majoring in comp sci and electrical engineering.
Flex alert.
And light work, but I just wanted to say that no. But anyway, I've had a dream since like 7th, 8th grade to work in this industry and start a company, have that financial freedom. Because if you're not building your own dream, you're building somebody else's. And that's one of the most important quotes to me. So I don't know, 5-10 years, I'll probably be working for a company, but eventually, I don't know, closer to that 10 years mark, I want to be my own boss. So we'll see how that works out.
I can relate to that though, Daniel. I really think like you can say, some people will say that's like a capitalist mindset. And like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that mindset, but I think that's also like attesting to the dreamer mentality as well. Cause like, if you're not going to go for like if you're not shooting for to be top dog, then it's like, I don't, that's like, again, that's like some of the things I like surrounding myself around is people who like want to be the best in what they're doing. Like, I know, like, everything I'm trying to do, like, even if it's as small as this podcast, like, if we're doing this for fun, I want it to be good and look professional because it's like, it's under my name. It's my product. You know what I'm saying? It's like what DeAndre was talking about. Like, we're putting these things out there, you know, like, for good or for worse, but like, or for better or for worse. But like, at the end of the day, it's still something that's attached to our name. So like, and a part of our history. So like, I want that to be the best it can be, regardless of what I'm doing.
Dang, does that mean I'm up?
Yep, that means
Dang,
you up.
dude. Dang. All right, so 5 to 10 years, right? That's the question.
Yes, sir.
Honestly,
Yours is pretty easy.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's got an easy
Considering
answer
the
to
next
this.
8 years are accounted for, yeah, it's pretty easy. I got a 5-year commitment once I graduate the academy, which I'm not complaining about. It's all I ever wanted to do was, be in the Coast Guard. It kind of runs in the family, you could say. It's just something bigger than myself. And I never, growing up, I never considered myself to be able to work at a desk job. Like, I can't picture myself counting someone's money or like Daniel,
Jared.
like Daniel and Hammy said, I guess just building someone else's dream. I never pictured myself doing that. I never pictured myself being more like, I never really had the entrepreneur mindset either. So for a while there was like, what do I do? But it was pretty clear to me. I'd rather give back. A life of service is a good life. So
I will say that Luke, like, again, I'm not trying to get all emotional up on the first podcast, but I will say Luke has definitely been my favorite person to play with on a sports team, because like, he would be that person who gets under your skin just to make you better, or like he's the epitome of a team player, but like, he'd be your worst enemy at the same time, just so that you turn around and improve yourself. So like, shout out to Luke. For real.
I just love every minute of trying to help people. I know that's super super cliche and stupid, but I think everyone has that innate desire. You see someone, you want to help them, and I just figured I'd do it for a living. So 5-10 years, I see myself in the Coast Guard. 10-20 years, I see myself in the Coast Guard until I retire, and then who knows? Relax.
No, that's facts.
That's really where I see myself, dude.
Work hard, play hard. Am I right,
Yeah.
boys? I think kind of like in summary of everything that we talked about today, I think a lot of what you can gather from this is that like us 6 right here, and probably some more people you're gonna meet throughout the weeks, where we date back, but I think the thing that we like that I cherish the most about these bonds is that like we go off and do our own things, but we always know where like the grass is greener in a sense, and we always know that like there's a home back in Northeast North Carolina, the little 252. But like I think it's really cool too. Hey, for real. But it's really cool. I think to realize, I was talking to my mom about this, is like for me, and like I don't know about like all y'all, but this might just be a me thing. But like I feel like I'm at the point almost where I like my network's at a point where it's stable enough to where like I have people and so many or friends that I can turn to in like so many different professions, right? Or like different fields, right? Or trajectories that like I can't even imagine what the next like 20 years is going to be like. It's like so exciting for me to be like, I got a friend aspiring to be in the Coast Guard, or like wanting to do this entrepreneur stuff, or like being a filmmaker, like that's dope for me, because it's like just like to see where everyone else's story is going to take them makes me want to be like in the same ballpark as them. You know what I'm saying? Trophies, Drake type moves. That's how we're moving. I got to shout out Uncle. First episode, I got to shout out my uncle, man. Shout out Aubrey. That's my GOAT. But yeah, I don't know if Luke, if you have anything else to say in conclusion. But that's all I had for tonight.
Yeah, no, dude, with that, we're pretty much out of time, and honestly, a pretty good stopping point. We're going to keep doing this every week, Saturday. That's the plan. I mean, I don't know when this will be, like, actually up, but it's recorded on a Saturday, done on a Saturday, But, yeah, I think obviously as we grow and, we're not done.
As soon as it's just, you'll know the answer to that question.
Wait, what happened? Wait, what just happened?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You lagged out, but it's fine now.
Oh, okay,
You just had like a seizure on camera.
bro.
Shout out DeAndre.
No.
Quick backstory.
That's a story for another time. That's a story for another time. We're out of time today. We're out of time today. But yeah. As we go on, we'll hopefully you guys get to know us a little bit better, and hopefully we keep it up. You know, we've done a lot of growing, especially this group together. We've come a long way, but I mean, maybe our journey together isn't quite as isn't quite as such as it would be, but here we are. So
Yes, sir. Cam, you want to give that little shout out to your background dancer?
No one wants. I'm y'all stop,
Whoa,
bro. What's going on, bro?
Damn. Talk about social distancing, bro.
I don't know. It was just something going on, bro. Leave.
Titties out.
Am I gonna get Twitch banned?
yeah, nip slip.
Yo, hey, and with that, I think it's a wrap, bro.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm cutting it.